So for anybody that's ever has watched Joe Rogan when he was interviewing Annie Jacobsen, you might know who she is. She's been on there a couple times. She wrote a book about the Pentagon brain. I'm listening to it right now, and she goes into DARPA and all of the science and military. I mean, really, basically, these are your same type scientists that they didn't face. I mean, they're not the exact same people, but it's the same knowledge and attitude handed down over and over again, it seems. It's why the science seems to lack a moral compass. But they, with Operation Paperclip, which was declassified, that took the scientists that were doing the crazy things they were doing during the Holocaust. They didn't face justice. They were brought into America to continue their research, which, who do you think they were doing their research with? The military-industrial complex and others. They have control over it. The Pentagon War Room is below the Pentagon itself. But this Annie Jacobsen, she goes into so much history and so much things they've done. These psychological operations they've done to the public and continue to do. And then I was listening not too long ago. I just started listening to this podcast. A couple of professors in Britain, okay, the higher educated fools, talking about, they're just upset that there's so much pushback against AI because they put all this faith in AI. Like, they can't put faith in God, right? But they want to put their faith in a machine. It's so ridiculous. So, because they think, like I guess others do, that AI should be our government. And the government is just trying to keep that from happening. Well, I don't want AI to be the government. That's ridiculous. I mean, talk about but this is what higher education does for you. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with these people. And this one professor was saying that because they were answering questions about AI, and he was saying, in the future, you won't have to do any thinking. Well, I think that, they stopped us from thinking a long time ago. I mean, 2020 proved that. 2020 absolutely proved that. Everybody was just whatever the news tells me. And the higher educated still believe everything the news told them about COVID. Yeah. So, and then this guy goes on to defend gain-of-function research. Okay, again, gain-of-function is taking a virus and it's making it worse. Now, I'm sure that all of those scientists would have 100 reasons why they should do that, but that's dangerous. It's dangerous. And then there's this. So this is MIT. It's from a couple months ago. Beyond gene-edited babies, the possible paths for tinkering with human evolution. CRISPR will get easier and easier to administer. What does that mean for the future of our species? Apparently, science believes that it's their job to help us evolve. So, you really have to wonder with the transgenderism craziness, is gene editing have anything to do with it? It'll get taken down, whatever. But, even... I asked AI, and AI said that that's been an ongoing debate. So, but then they've moved away from wanting to, edit genes in embryos, and they think they could just do it on the public overall. Why wait hundreds and thousands of years for natural selection to do its job? For a few $100s in chemicals, you could try to install these changes in an embryo in 10 minutes. This is all the same MIT article. For now, gene editing of adult bodies is still challenging and is held back by the difficulty of delivering the CRISPR instructions to thousands or even billions of cells, often using viruses to carry the payloads. Oh, you need the virus to carry the payloads. I'm only reading the highlighted parts. But biotech companies are pouring dollars into new, sleeker ways to deliver CRISPR to hard-to-reach places. Some are designing special viruses, well, that's your gain of function, that can home in on specific types of cells. Others are adopting nanoparticles similar to those used in the COVID-19 vaccine, with the idea of introducing, I think it says editor or addition. It's hard for me to see because of the recording, but you can see it. Easily and cheaply via a shot in the arm. This is the MIT article. And I know it's cut off, but it should be kept purposely complex and cumbersome so that only experts can use them. A biological version of security through obscurity. But that's not likely to happen. Building a gene editor to make these changes is no longer, the kind of technology that's in the realm of 100 people who can do it. This is out there. And as delivery improves, I don't know how we will be able to regulate that. And of course, the science is concerned. Then there's the risk that gene terrorists, the universities really, or governments could change people's DNA without their permission or knowledge. Again, this is all the MIT papers. So before you go saying it's some quack job, no, it's MIT. I mean, and they always say, no, we want to change genes so that people can't be hurt by HIV or hurt. No, this isn't good. The things you are messing around with, you have crossed the line. And what you end up doing, and you never learn. But I wonder, do they want to learn? I don't think they do. Is you end up making things worse. This goes over a little bit about, the history and the rise of... This is why we have so many genome labs. And the thing is the science, are they this stupid? I mean, they're as bad as the government. But then they're in with the government. Editing everyone. Some genetic engineers believe that editing embryos, though in theory easy to do, will always be held back by these grave uncertainties. Instead, they say DNA editing in living adults could become easy enough to be used not only to correct rare diseases, but to add enhanced capabilities to those who seek them. If that happens, editing for improvements could spread just as quickly as any consumer technology or medical fad. I don't think it's going to be germline, says George Church, a Harvard geneticist often sought out for his prognostications. The 8 billion of us who are alive kind of constitute the marketplace. Great, yeah. And there's even an international summit on human gene editing. Yeah, I'm sure they still meet. It was US, UK, and China to harmonize regulation of the application of genome editing technologies. So, they because these people don't know their boundaries and all they have to do is tell people, and apparently the higher educated just believe whatever the science says. No, they only want to edit your genes for good reasons. Oh, okay. The very fact that, though, people can't see what a violation that is, you're assuming that they're asking for permission. How many times, let's think back in the science's history, have they done things that was without your permission? Tuskegee is the first one that comes to mind, but there's been tons of them because they work with the Department of Defense. So I'm not really sure why the higher educated can't put this together. I really don't. All I can think is that it's what God talked about in the Bible, is he eventually places a delusion on you and lets you believe you're bullshit. So unfortunately, and this is from, hospital, breaking through barriers, optimizing capacity and staffing with AI. That's why they don't care if they have human staffing. They don't. But these are the people, again, who treat human beings like shit. That I've talked about recently, the C-suite, the executive, and because all their eyes are focused on is machinery. Then you got the science, who has been doing things forever that they, crossing lines they shouldn't, doing it no matter who says anything, they don't like it. So when they tell you that you won't need to think in the future, Make sure you keep thinking all the time.